Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This feels really weird. I've been watching YouTube for, God, I don't even know, 10 years. I've gone to YouTube for so much information, and I always toyed around with the idea of starting a channel for my own stuff, but I never did. And this quarantine has really allowed me to take a lot of time to tap into creative outlets. I've had time to do a lot of things I didn't normally have time for, and it really just made me realize that you can make time for anything. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever allows the creative juices to flow. So I recorded a couple videos during this, I don't know what we're calling it, quarantine, I guess, but word just sounds so harsh. I don't like that word. But I recorded some videos, and I'm going to upload them and see what people think. I did do this look today. I know it's a little out there and a little crazy, but I was feeling kind of creative. I took a bunch of pictures, and I'm going to have details and pictures up on my Instagram for this, but I just figured I would post while I had my makeup on. So if you guys are curious about this, go follow my Instagram. The link will be down below, and you can see this look. I post a lot of product reviews there, a lot of things like that, but I figured this would be a good way to give more in-depth descriptions of things. So I'm going to do my April empties. I have a lot of skincare this month. I found that I've always been really passionate about skincare, but I've had a lot more time to devote to skincare and things like that. Well, I've been stuck at home, so I have a lot to talk about for sure. I'm just going to kind of randomly pull things out of this basket and tell you what I think about them. The first thing is this Skin Inc. Vitamin C serum. I really liked this overall. It felt very nice on the skin, had a nice emolliency, it absorbed really well, it didn't leave my skin feeling tacky or greasy or slippery or anything like that. I did notice some brightening effects, and overall my skin did feel just softer, smoother, it looked brighter, so I did really enjoy this. This, I need to look into what sizes they come in. I did get this, I think, in like a BoxyCharm, but this size bottle, I did go through really quick. So I think it lasted me about a month. Based on the price, if this is the size that they sell and I only get a month's worth, there are definitely cheaper options out there, but I did enjoy this. The next thing is this Aussie Mega Moist Conditioner. So this has been in my shower for quite a while, probably at least a year. It lasted me a long time. I liked this conditioner. You know, my hair did feel softer and silkier when I used it. It had a really beautiful smell. When I get in the shower, I shampoo, and then the next step is my conditioner, and I leave my conditioner in my hair the whole shower. It's the very last thing I rinse out. So I do all my other body care, and then I rinse out my conditioner, and I did feel that this one was nice. It didn't feel like it weighed my hair down, but it left it nice and soft. I overall like Aussie products. I used their 3-Minute Miracle deep conditioner for years, and actually I think after I use a couple other hair masks, I'm going to pick that back up and see if it's still a nice, affordable option. This next one is also a product that I had for quite a while. It's the Olay Fresh Effects Out of This Swirl Deep Pore Clean and Exfoliating Scrub. Like I said, I had it for a couple years, just kind of sitting on a shelf, and I needed to use it up, so I put it in my shower. I don't physically exfoliate all that often. I only do it once a week. You're actually only supposed to physically exfoliate about once a week. It can cause micro tears in the skin that can leave your skin more damaged and can break up the elastin in the skin and really cause major problems overall. A lot of scrubs are too harsh, and they really can do more damage over time than they do good. So you really only want to physically exfoliate with like a scrub once a week. Use a chemical exfoliator like something with AHAs and BHAs a couple of times a week to do other exfoliation. So I only use this, once or twice a week in the shower. And honestly, there was not enough exfoliating beads in there to really be a physical exfoliator. if that was what you were looking for with that product, it didn't really do that, which is a good thing, because if you're using a cleanser every single day and it's very harsh and scrubbing, that's going to overdo it for you. So that one, you know, the cleansing agents in it were nice. I felt like my skin was clean but not stripped. When I would get out, I didn't have any residue left on my skin when I would go in with, like, you know, my essence or my toning pad. So as far as cleaning, it did a good job. Definitely not enough exfoliating beads in there to really properly exfoliate physically, which, you know, like I said, is good and bad. It did have a lot of fragrance, and I'm really trying to, in my skincare, scale back on fragrances, because I found out, you know, how harsh they can be on the skin. So I probably wouldn't repurchase that again, but it wasn't bad. The next thing in here is the Clinique, I don't know if you can see that, Fresh Press Daily Booster with Pure Vitamin C. I wasn't a fan of this. So you kind of push down on this top part and it releases this vitamin C powder in here. You shake it up and then you use it every day. You're supposed to be able to use it every day for a week. Now, L-ascorbic acid powders are very efficient because it's a much more stable way to deliver vitamin C without it breaking down and without you losing the efficacy of the vitamin C. But this, it had a really weird texture. It left my skin kind of sticky and would cause some of my other products to pill up. It also, you know, burned and felt uncomfortable, which I know there's going to be some burning sensations with any sort of like acid product. You know, there's going to be mild irritation, but this is more than any of the other vitamin C products I've ever used. And like I said, I didn't enjoy the texture. It left a weird, like, film almost on my skin, even on my hands. Like, I would have to go wash my hands after I would apply this because it would leave my hands feeling like sticky and uncomfortable, and I just didn't enjoy that. The next thing in here is a Caudalie Vinosource Sorbet, right? Moisturizing Sorbet. I loved this. I had 4 or 5 samples of these and I wanted to go through them, so I've kind of been using them for the last couple of months and I really enjoyed it. It's nice and lightweight, absorbs into the skin. It's got this beautiful, almost moussey texture that makes it just feel really hydrating and comforting and soothing on the skin. And my skin did feel nice and hydrated. There was no negative reactions to it. It has very, very minimal fragrances. And I did feel like my skin stayed hydrated throughout the day. And it looked hydrated. So I definitely, once I start to, you know, work down on some of these products over here, I will be purchasing it full size. I've really enjoyed a lot of the Caudalie products. So speaking of Caudalie products, the next is one of my absolute favorite products. This is the Caudalie grape water, which is nothing but grape water. I love it. I use it before my makeup, right when I get out of the shower for some instant hydration, or anytime my skin is feeling parched. We just went through the winter here in New York, and actually it's still snowing some days, and so you'll come inside from being outside and your skin just feels so tight and dehydrated. So I just spray on some of this to refresh my skin. The mist on here is so fine and so beautiful, and it just feels good. Not only that, but it does hydrate. It makes your skin feel nice and soothed. So I did love that. I just repurchased a big size of that in the Sephora sale. The next is the Sephora Micellar Water. Again, a good product. It did what it was supposed to do. It properly removed my makeup, especially my eye makeup, waterproof makeup. It didn't leave any greasy or slippery residue behind, especially because it was one of those products that kind of was separated in here. So it was a dual layer and you kind of shook it up, but I didn't feel any residue left behind. It did have a heavy fragrance to it, which it wasn't that it smelled bad, but that just indicates to me that there's fragrance ingredients in here. So I think I would choose something different to repurchase. I am going through some other micellar waters right now. The one I'm using is coconut, so I know there's fragrances in there, but I'm just trying to use some things up. So not bad, but I wouldn't repurchase that either. The next is the Skinfix Hydrating Hand Lotion, which I loved. I'm definitely going to be repurchasing a full size of this, especially right now when you're washing your hands a million times. You're using hand sanitizer, which is high in alcohol content. And especially, I own a flower shop and, I do makeup, so I'm constantly like dipping my hands in preservative, using antibacterial products in between clients. So my hands kind of go through it anyway. But this was great. This is great. It was really thick and creamy and hydrating. You could instantly feel like nourishment in your skin. It didn't feel really heavy and slippery though. It also didn't have any fragrance, so I found that it was great for like when I did know I was going to be like with a client or something, because it wasn't something aggressive in their face. So I would definitely repurchase this. The next thing is the Lancome Energie de Vie Eye Cream. I just did a really in-depth review of this on my Instagram, so if you want to hear more about it, definitely check over there and I can tell you more. But I will say that I absolutely love this. It's definitely going to be a repurchase for me for a couple different reasons, so check out that post if you want to hear a little bit more about that. I don't want to, try and make this too long. The next is the Korres Wild Rose Makeup Melter Cleansing Oil. I did not like this at all. I did not like this at all. For one, ton of fragrance, a ton of essential oils and things in there that are just completely unnecessary. And it was a smell that like lingered on my skin and I just didn't enjoy it. But it also, it felt nice when you first put it on the skin, and it did a decent job of initially breaking the makeup off, but then I couldn't get it off my skin. I would rinse my skin and rinse my skin, and it just left this like greasy kind of residue that just was clinging, and then you couldn't like get the makeup back off your skin because the oil was like sticking to it. And so I would have to like, rinse a little and leave it on my skin and then use my cleanser to remove it, or get a cloth and have to like really like drag it off my skin. So definitely nope. I love the DHC cleansing oil, which I'm gonna go back to that. The next product in here is a little travel size of my Holy Grail Sills Booster from Lancome. This is awesome. It is a conditioner for your lashes, so much like conditioning your hair, it gives those same ingredients to your lashes, so it helps them, hydrate. They're less brittle. You'll see that your lashes are going to be effects from some of the ingredients in mascara that can break down and harm your lashes and make them, a little bit more brittle and fragile. So definitely repurchase on that. I'm just using up some sample sizes that I've had from gifts with purchase and stuff, but I've used that over and over. Same thing with the Advanced Night Repair Serum. This is something that I purchased for years. It really helps to give a little bit of extra nourishment and conditioning, some anti-aging ingredients, also some antioxidants to the skin at night while you sleep. Helps repair some of the damage that you go throughout the day, like environmental aggressors, pollution, sun damage. So I have used this over and over. This is just a little travel size because I've been using up some of the things that are in my collection, but I definitely recommend that. The next is the Burt's Bees Complete Nourishment Facial Oil. I didn't like this either. It felt nice. It felt nourishing. It absorbed into the skin nicely. Didn't feel overly slippery or overly oily, but it's the smell. There is so many extracts in here and fragrance, natural fragrance oils, which are essential oils, which can cause sensitivity over time, which you really don't want in your skincare. For one, the smell was very strong and aggressive and stayed on my skin, but two, there are just so many fragrance ingredients in here. Just unnecessarily, and there are a lot of other oils that I love that don't have that or don't do that. So overall, just not something I would recommend, not something I'm going to repurchase, but I've been curious about it, so glad I got a sample of that. The next thing in here is the Sephora Lash Craft Mascara, which I loved. I loved this. This reminded me, Lash Craft Big Volume. This reminded me so much of my Holy Grail Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara, but for a fraction of the price. It was very volumizing, lengthening. It made your lashes just look nice and full and almost falsified. It didn't run on me. It didn't flake on me. It removed nicely at night with my cleansing oil. So overall, I love this. Definitely going to be repurchasing a full size. The next thing is the Tarte Light Camera Lashes Mascara. Another good one. Definitely not as volumizing and full. This is great for the days when you want a little bit more of a natural look. Like if I'm not wearing something that's really dramatic like this, I like a mascara that's a little bit more natural, a little bit less, in your face. And this was great. It didn't flake, it didn't run, gave me some length, separation, a little bit of volume, but just in a very natural, everyday wearable way. I'll repurchase this as well. The next thing is this Dial Hello Kitty soap. Again, something I had stored under my cabinet that I know I needed to use up because it had been there for a year or so. This was good. It had a nice kind of, I'm going to do that typical thing where you smell it because I need to kind of remember it. Yeah, it had a very citrusy, almost like orange tangerine scent. Lathered nicely. A little bit went a long way. Left my skin feeling nice and clean. A little bit of fragrance that lingered. Didn't, strip my skin or make it feel dry. So overall, a good option. I'll repurchase it. The next thing is the Lancome Creme Mousse Comfort, which I have used for years. I used to be a Lancome beauty advisor and counter manager, worked for them for years, and this is always my go-to because it's got this very nice creamy texture that makes your skin feel nourished but also clean at the same time. It doesn't leave you tight and dry. It has a nice foaming aspect to it. It does have some added fragrance in there, so with wash off treatments, I'm not so worried about the fragrance because it's not something that's going to sit and linger on your skin. So the overall effects long term aren't going to be like a serum with fragrance, a moisturizer with fragrance. So I probably will repurchase it again. I know I have a couple more to use up, and I do really like this. It's been my go-to cleanser for years. I have these Whispers Take Along cotton rounds, which I hated. I hated these. I don't know how they sell them. Maybe I got a bad batch or whatever, but they just broke up. Like after, a couple passes on your skin, they started to like fall apart and disintegrate. I wouldn't recommend these at all. I have these Spa Scriptions facial wipes. If any of you have followed my Instagram and stuff for a long time, you know that I don't use facial wipes on my face. They're not a proper cleansing routine. I repeat, they are not a facial cleanser. They do remove initial dirt and debris, but they don't properly cleanse your skin. It's like taking a wet rag and trying to clean up a mess, but not rinsing it back out. Like it just moves things around. You do remove some of it, but not a lot. Not only that, but they're not good for the environment. I mean, they don't biodegrade. And if you think about how many people use how many of these and then they get thrown in landfills, like it's just, and a lot of them have a lot of fragrance, so they're just not a proper cleansing agent. What I do use these for are cleaning off swatches on my hand, cleaning off, makeup and stuff that's left behind, cleaning up my thing. But, even then I have really resorted back to just using spray cleaners and rags and trying to be more environmentally aware. I'm just working on going through the ones that I already have kind of and back up in my collection. The next thing is the Rimmel Max Volume Flash Mascara. This I'm just decluttering. For one, it's kind of old. For two, I didn't like it at all. Rimmel mascaras just don't work for me. They run on me. They don't dry down quick enough. I end up being like a blurry mess by the end of the day, and I have mascara underneath and on top, and I just don't like it. Next is the Mamand Flower Lab Essence Rose Mask. This I liked. It felt nourishing. It left my skin feeling hydrated. It left my skin looking, nice and supple and plump, and just it felt nice and soothing. It wasn't so saturated that it was slipping all over the place, but it wasn't dry so that you didn't feel like it was enough. I did really enjoy it. So I'll get that again. I have a bunch of packets of things in here. Like, I don't know if I should go through these or not. I have the Caudalie Vinosource Cream Moisturizer. So this is a little bit more thick and hydrating and creamy than the Sorbet. And I did love this. I want to try this in the winter and get the full size because I did feel like it really did great for my dry skin. I got the Derma E Hydrating Day Cream. I used this for a couple days. It was okay, heavily fragranced. Take it or leave it. It wasn't anything that I jumped out of my socks about. The Dior Dream Skin Moisturizer. Too bad that's so expensive because that was great. I loved it, but I'm not willing to pay the price on that. The Juice Beauty Anti-Wrinkle Moisturizer. Again, okay, take it or leave it. Not really worth the price in my opinion, but it was okay. And then I had two of these Be Fine single serve exfoliating cleansers with brown sugar, sweet almond, and oats. I was using this as my physical exfoliator. I was able to use it, probably 3 times per packet. I liked it. It did seem a little too harsh, a little too abrasive for me, so I probably wouldn't repurchase it. I prefer something with like really micro fine exfoliator, so it was okay. But no, I wouldn't repurchase it. And then the very last thing, because I'm trying to go through a lot of my travel sizes. I mean, I have, as you can see, and this isn't even all of it. Like if you could see all the shelving that's over here, and on this side as well. I have a lot of travel stuff from doing BoxyCharms and Ipsies and gifts with purchases for things that I'm trying to use up. So this is the Pantene Dream Care shampoo. Just a little travel size of that. I liked it. I know a lot of people, especially hairdressers, and I'm not super educated on hair ingredients and things like that like I am with skin. So I would love to learn more about it because I tend to use just very simple hair care products. I do have some higher end ones, like I love the Briogeo hair mask. I use the Amica Nourishing Soul Food hair mask as well. Those I also love the Way scalp and body scrub, and I use a lot of high end treatment products for after I get out of the shower, but for my shampoo and conditioner I've always just kind of used drugstore products, and I did like this. It lathered nice, it left my hair feeling clean but not super dehydrated, had a beautiful smell, so I mean I liked it. I would repurchase it full size once I go through everything. Alright guys, so that is the end of my empties, which is great because my dog's going to bark now. I have 3 of them and I was very thankful that they didn't bark throughout like the whole thing. But that is the end of my empties. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, I'm really new to this, so tell me what you guys want to see. I know people want to see some makeup tutorials and I'm definitely working on that. I recorded one and I just couldn't technologically figure it out, but I think I know what I'm doing now, so I'm definitely going to film another one of those. Thank you guys for, following me on Instagram and my Facebook and all of that for all of these years. So I hope you give me as much support over here, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.